Back in Week 14, the Browns dominated their first matchup against the Steelers. Can Pittsburgh get revenge? Find out next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll run on first down. Scott, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return will stop right around the 25. So here are the Browns now with great starting field position. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
First down inside the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 139 yards.
But he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run. went with straight-ahead pursuit and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Steps away to his left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's his 11th touchdown on the ground, number 14 overall. And the Browns have taken the early lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on 2nd down, McAllister. He's got his big tight end, Fant. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Operating from the gun, McAllister. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. On 1st down, it's Scott. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 23 carries, 93 yards, and a score.
10 touchdowns on the season for him, and I don't know whether these goals are written down. I don't know whether they're discussed amongst the team, but I do know this. Every guy who touches the ball as a ball carrier thinks 10 touchdowns is a nice round goal to try and reach in a season.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's a good news, bad news proposition for them. Mostly good news, and that's that they've clinched a playoff spot. That's the important thing. Bad news, though, if they want to make a Super Bowl, for the moment at least, they'd have to do it out of the 6th seed.
And bottom line, everybody wants to play at home during the playoffs. We know that's a given. But nothing builds character for a ball club quite like winning on the road in the playoffs, especially when no one thinks you can do it. And if you win one and gain confidence, who knows, you might get on one of those magical runs.
Now they try the right side here. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. This defense for the Steelers, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And all the way down to the 9. A big play that time for Cleveland. As a defense, what a nuisance when you look on the other side and they've got a tight end that can run a post route like that.
And you felt the ground shake, didn't you? Oh, you've been all the way up here in this booth. How about when he grabbed the football? You could see the terror as everyone was thinking, do I even want to try and tackle that big man?
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. On second and goal, they'll give it to him again. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
They'll run here on third and goal. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Now the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture of the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken,
That
correct?
does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Micah Parsons in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. And the Steelers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, McAllister. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The 2nd down attempt there, knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. On 3rd down, McAllister, and this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. 52 yards on the ground for him so far. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Eluded, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Let's go.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he's brought down. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Second and 3. Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns continue to pull away here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point right down the middle, and it is 28-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded right around the 8. And he won't quite make it to the 25. One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. And they really won't have much time to work with. Just 19 seconds showing on the clock. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get
you want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
And certainly they are pleased to know that they will be in the postseason. That's the good news. They've clinched a spot at least. The bad news, at least for now, they would have to make a run out of that 6-hole CD, and that's not an easy prospect.
Not at all, especially with how loaded this conference is. And think about the thought of trying to run through 3 road games just to the Super Bowl. It seems unlikely, but we have seen it happen before.
They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 3, second down.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Check. Check 25. Check 25. Check 25. Check 37. Check 37.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. And now here's a carry heading left. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And that is incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Mike's 42, Mike's 42. 65, 65.
On 1st and 10, McAllister. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 1st down, McAllister, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, kind of a quirk in the schedule. These two division rivals didn't see each other much of the year. Their first meeting was just a few weeks ago, back in Week 14. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The
hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at their 48-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back now here on EA Sports. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike 42. Mike 42.
Throwing on first down. McAllister got a man and he hits him in stride. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding, probably
under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Micah Parsons picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 15. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30.
Bring in the second spring. Bring in the second spring.
He will score. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Touchdown. Woo. Time to go to work. Let's go.
So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun, McAllister. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the third time he's been off target this entire game.
And Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up four fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Come get some.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements. We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away.
This is unbelievable.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Mike 12. Mike 12.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Past the 20. 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play that time for Cleveland.
All over you. Let's get it together, defense. Let's go. Ain't that something?
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
When you think about this strong safety position, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Check 31. Check 31.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
The try here for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Mike 42. Mike 42.
From the gun, McAllister looking left side, and it's complete. There he goes left side. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point attempt to come here. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From the 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. That one looks like he'll throw here. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And now here's a carry heading left. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Mike's 4-2. Mike's 4-2.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. McAllister. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Steelers send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded at the 33. That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Browns drive about to get started.
And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th.
Forced out to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns,
they solidify their spot in the playoffs as they run their mark to 12-4 on the year.